Okay, so I've just started the recording. Good afternoon. How are you?
Yes, ma'am, I'm safe and sound, doing fantastic. How about you? How are you doing today?
Yes, I'm doing well too. Thank you for asking. How's your day been so far?
Yes, ma'am, my day is so far so good, no complaint. By the grace of Almighty God, thanks for your concern. How about your day? How life is treating you these days?
Yeah, these days it is as usual, but I am traveling today evening. So there's a long weekend, right? We have Independence Day and then we have a local festival here. So it's going to be a holiday. So for 2 or 3 days, we are going out of station. So I'm in a mess right now. Yeah.
No, maybe you have a very tight schedule.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Mm, right. So, yes, would you mind telling me a little more about yourself?
Why not, ma'am? I would be more than happy if I would tell something about myself. Well, my name is Shiv, and I'm born and brought up in India. My native place is Uttarakhand, and by profession, I'm a center government employee. As far as my academic qualification concerned, I'm done with my Master in English, Master in Commerce, and this year I'm pursuing my Master in Economics. In addition to this, I do teach English to beginners and intermediate speakers through online applications as an unofficial English trainer. And I do have my own YouTube channel by the name of English with Teacher Shiv. So that's all about me in brief.
Okay, wow, you wear multiple hats, right? You are a central government employee, then you're also a student, you're also a teacher. Where do you get it from?
I'm trying to manage all this stuff as I'm not versatile in nature like you because you are the queen of jack of all trades. I'm just trying to following your stepping stone. So let's see.
That's flattering.
I
Okay,
wish I would, but I don't know how to do it. But okay, fine. It's a genuine feedback.
thank you. So you are working full time as a central government employee?
Yes, I'm working full time as a center company employee.
Wow. And like you are also very active on Skype, right? You're quite active and responsive. I mean, we just get immediate responses from you. How come you're so active all the time and
Uh,
also your passion for English?
I would say, ma'am, this language itself is the biggest source in order to make me quite active on this application as well as on other applications as well. Because I'm so crazy mad about this language. I just want to speak as fluently as you speak. So that's why I've been watching the videos trying to acquire information like how do you speak and what kind of naturalness and smoothness you have when you speak. You don't even think a single second what exactly you're about to speak, and you speak as you can speak in your native language. So that kind of proficiency I'm expecting.
Wow, you're on the right track already. So I just have one question for you. How did you learn English? Why and from when?
Ma'am, it's been 2.5 years back. I started my journey of learning this language. As I shared before that I did my schooling from Hindi medium school, and I was such a terrible and awful speaker of English. I started from zero, from scratches, from ground, as I started learning this language with the help of one application. There, I talked with many native speakers. And as day by day, when I started interacting with native speakers, I got an influence of the accent on my spoken English that you can see easily. Moreover, English, or you can say it's my passion all the time. So I started listening to native speakers, and I started listening to some good speakers from India, especially. I used to watch the talks a lot. Still, I'm watching, and I started using different application in order to hone my communication to the professional level. So by using those application, I learned this language somehow that I can manage within 1 year. And then after learning this language, I started teaching as well because I was not pacified with my performance when it comes to spoken English. And I talked about it with my one of native speakers teachers from United States. She suggested me if you really want to master this language, start teaching. On the first note, I started laughing just because I was tenderfoot in terms of spoken English. How could I teach anyone else? And she said that as soon as you start teaching others, you will get to know that how can you teach it. So from there, I started teaching others as an unofficial listener because I haven't done any course like teaching and all. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, so you started learning spoken English by interacting with foreigners, right? Listening to native English speaker, talking to them. So that explains the accent, right? Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, if you have any questions for me, you can go ahead.
My first question for you, ma'am, what are the secrets of your fluency? That's it.
Secrets. There is no secret. I have been speaking English for quite some time now, like ever since my childhood. I went to a convent school, but the English that we spoke during those days at school was different. It wasn't so refined, sophisticated, or well ornamented like how we are speaking now. It used to be just childish kind of English. But even at home, my dad was always encouraging us to speak in English. He wanted us to grow up and have good fluency of this language. He like uh, when you grow up, you have to be good. You have to be in a good status. So he would associate status with English. So you're going to meet a lot of people when you grow up. You're going to have a good, secure job. For that, you will need English. That was always his vision. So he trained us when we were children. He trained us to talk in English. He taught us how to talk to people over the phone calls. He would literally push us to talk to strangers. Go ask that uncle this thing, and you have to talk in English. So real life, he gave us terrible time when we were kids. So as a result of which I learned English. I am also an avid reader. I read a lot of books. I used to actually before the technology came across. So I have been using technology, and I lost the touch of reading physical books from then. But I used to read a lot of books. I used to also write poetry, stories, incidents in my own words. I like imagining things because when I was growing up, we did not have social media, we did not have the phone. So for time pass, what we used to do, either read or just write or use your imagination or keep thinking, these kind of things. So that is what I used to do. I used to write a lot for my magazines, for my, I used to write my personal experiences, and everything used to be in English. So my native language is Kannada. Simultaneously, I used to learn English. As I learned Kannada, I learned English. So both were like hand in hand. So I got this proficiency and this fluency. So English is my habit.
Wow, ma'am, I'm totally amazed and spellbounded just because the way you are speaking seems to that you are born with this language. And in another way, you can say that's true. You are, as you have learned this language in a very natural way. And second question pop up in my mind that what is the role of grammar when it comes to spoken English? What do you think? Is grammar really important, or the one who don't have grammar knowledge can speak English?
See, grammar is a must for you to speak English. If you do not have the knowledge of grammar, how are you going to express your thoughts? It's not possible, right? You have to convey the right meaning. You should know the tenses, whether you're talking about your past, right now, present, or the future. So you should be aware of that. So grammar is a must. Uh, in the basic level, when you're starting learning spoken English, many people are afraid of grammar, and that is the reason they take a step back, that I do not want to learn English because of grammar. So I would say just learn grammar through listening and speaking. You need not go through the textbooks. Textbooks are good if you are going to write an examination. So you have to prepare it in that way. So when you're speaking, it has to be spontaneous. You cannot stop and think. So that is my opinion. Don't learn grammar from book, but grammar is very important. You should learn it through listening, reading, through speaking. That's all, not from the books.
Wow, that's really great. The way you have answered, I would say you nailed it. And moving back to the next question, I would say, I hope you heard about many people that they are quite interested in order to learn accent, especially American and British. They want to sound like a native speakers. What do you think of the one who just started his journey of learning this language? Is it okay for him to learn accent or not?
I think accent should come last. It should be the last thing on your mind when you're learning a language. Because Indians have a neutral accent, the most easy understandable English accent. If you go to people from UK, they have a difficult to understand accent. If you have spoken to, yeah, you have spoken to native speakers, right? So UK or the British accent is most difficult to understand because they do not even complete the word. They just like eat up the word. It's not like totally clear what they are talking. So in my opinion, language is a tool for communicating. It's more about communication, then English, then your accent. So try, and you're living in India. As long as you're living in India, why do you want to speak like foreigners? Speak like Indians, because people around you should be able to associate you, should be able to approach you, should be able to understand what you're saying. Otherwise, why will people talk to you? So just have Indian accent. If it is things like you want to go abroad, you want to live among them, and you want to sound like them, it's totally fair if you want to learn the accent. But I think that should be the last thing on your mind. You have an accent and you have terrible grammar. You're making a lot of mistakes. So that it sounds really fake and funny. So I would say like improve your fluency, work on your accuracy. Do not make a lot of grammatical errors while speaking. Later, you can focus on accent if that is your passion, because nowadays we see a lot of youngsters. They are after accent. They want to talk like foreigners. So I would say keep that last in your mind. So learn good English first, and if it is your passion, definitely go ahead. But learn proper English first.
Now I'm in dilemma. The influence of foreign accent I got in my spoken English, is it a curse or blessing for me? Because okay, fine, let it be. I'll think about it later on. Coming back to the next question, I hope you heard about sentence formation. You must heard about it. I have seen many people, they say that they know what to speak in their mind when it comes to their native language. But as soon as they started opening their mouth, they're totally blank and blank, just because they don't have that sentence formation required to express their thoughts and feelings. What could be the best way to overcome with this problem?
You can learn sentence formation by reading and by listening, but you have to also evaluate yourself how much you have learned through it. And while speaking, it is natural for us to go blank. If I'm talking to a person who is way better than me, I will not know what to talk, or somewhere I will go blank. It is also, it might also happen because of lack of focus. We are thinking about something else and we are not able to concentrate in the conversation. So we just go like, oh, what was I saying? So that is also going blank. The third thing is you do not have enough practice, or you don't know what that sentence or word is called in English, and you just lose the track of what you were speaking. So it can happen to various reasons. So I would say you have to have a lot of practice. For those of you who do not know English and that is why you're going blank, for that you need to have a lot of practice. You can do that practice by doing writing. Writing is also an excellent form of output, what you can put out, whatever you have learned. While writing, you have a lot of time to think and write. Just choose a small sentence and then try to elaborate it. He was playing in the park. Who was playing in the park? Then how was he playing? Was he happy? Like that. Try to describe it in your own words, because you have all the time when you're writing and nobody is going to read it or judge you. Because while speaking, you are nervous and scared that people might judge you. And that thought is so heavy in your thoughts that you are not able to speak properly. So I would say while writing, you are like your mind is free. So practice writing every single day. So that will amazingly improve your sentence formation. And the same will try to show up in your speaking practice also. Because all the time you're thinking and you're forcing your brain to do better at English by writing. So that way, that time your brain will be able to give you thoughts. So also I would say another reason is try not to speak too fast. Give your time, give your brain a little time to process what you're saying. Speak slowly. Just before talking, try to make a thing in your mind, what am I going to talk, so then you can talk. Also be prepared. If you're having some conversation, something, be prepared what you're going to speak. So all of these will are going to help you.
Wow. And I'm so interested in order to know the name of that university from where you have done mastering in order to crack hard nut. The way you have answered is really phenomenal and remarkable. Moreover, out of box, I got one more question for you. I've listened to many mentors and trainers. They have been saying to their aspirants that think in English, think in English. It will allow you to stop the process of translation and you would able to edified and occupy the modern technique of thinking English. That's true, think in English. But the question is how? How one can think in English? What are the ways?
See, we have lakhs of thoughts going on in our brain every single day. So just imagine a fraction of it, you are converting it into English. You have to train your brain. You have to make English your habit. There is no other way. Like from the moment you wake up, so I'm waking up now. I am going to make my bed now. I'm going to fold the sheets. I'm going to set my bed, or I'm going to brush my teeth. Everything you have to keep talking to yourself from the time you wake up. At that time, you will not have thoughts which are coming in your native language. So you have to force your brain that way by talking at least slowly, murmuring to yourself. So that will trick your brain to always keep thinking in English. First, you just start by, if you're a beginner, just start by naming the words around you. Later, try framing sentences if you're traveling. So the road has a lot of potholes, or I will have a busy day at work. So keep your mind busy with English just by thinking all the time. So whatever thoughts are coming, it's natural. They might again end up coming in your native language. But then again, it's just like meditation. If you have heard about meditation, thoughts keep coming. But again, you just have to pull yourself. It is okay because mind is full of thoughts. It's okay. But again, you have to pull yourself and focus. So if English is your thing, your passion, you have to train your brain to do it. Keep thinking in English all the time. Later, start framing sentences. Later, start making paragraphs, writing, reading when you're immersed with English all the time. Like if there are some trending songs going on, you watch reels and everybody is putting it as the audio. So even when you're sleeping, it is like kind of disturbing you, it's playing rewind again and again. So it is the same thing. If you are immersed in English all the time, your brain will be like English, English, English. So I would say that thing you have to do to keep yourself thinking in English.
Wow, that's really stupendous and fantabulous. Incredibly, you have answered this question as well. And moving back to next question is, I've seen many times people have learned so many vocabularies with the help of YouTube. Sometimes they use dictionary, but still, I've seen people have complained that they are not able to enhance their vocabs. So how one can enhance his vocab power at the same time, how he can use those vocabs while spoken English, because sometimes he's not even able to recall those vocabs while spoken English.
Hmm. Firstly, if you watch my videos, I'm not after vocab. So whatever I know already, maybe here and there, if I like a really nice word, it's really nice to learn that word. Then I would learn it now and then, but it is not like every month I am using new words in my conversation or my speech. If I watch my older videos, maybe in a year I have learned like 5, 6, max 10 new words. So just go slow and do not run behind vocabulary. So, as I already told, work on your communication skills better, and even simple vocabulary is enough if it is conveying the right kind of thought to the opposite person. Vocab is sometimes important. You can learn the synonyms of the word because all the time you can't say, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. No, you can use things like overjoyed. I'm like, if you're totally very happy, you can say, I'm over the moon. So these kind of things you can learn. There is no harm in that. But coming to how you're going to learn, either by reading or by listening, you can do that. uh, Especially things like TEDx talks or listening to celebrities, because they are up to date. They do homework on our behalf because they are global celebrities, and they need to know updated English, because English is a language where they keep adding new words all the time, copying from here, they're adding to the dictionaries. So it is very difficult to stay up to date. So you can listen to celebrities, you can listen to Shashi Tharoor, you can like whatever genre you are interested in. If you're interested in Bollywood, you can listen to interviews, podcasts, speeches. If you're interested in politics, you can listen to a lot of people these days. They speak really good English. Like that, you will get new words. Once you get new words, write them down, frame sentences, but do not stop at there. Try to use them in your speaking practice. Try to associate that word with something. Recently, I heard an interview of Janvi Kapoor. She was telling that I grew up in a sheltered household. I like this word a lot. Sheltered household. It is somewhat nice to my ears, at least. So I just try to know what that word means, and then I try to associate what would be a person who grew up in a sheltered household, how their mentality would be. So, thoughts around these words that will make you remember the word. So, whenever I'm given a chance that I can use that word, I will definitely use it now. Like that, try to use in your speech or write down that word or try to create stories around that word. That way, you will be able to remember it for a longer time.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? When I'm listening to you, it seems to be like I'm listening to a podcaster. And it's quite easy to listen. Okay, after this call, definitely I'm going to implement those stuff. But as soon as I start doing all these things, I feel
Mm,
that fish out of water, honestly. Like my whole
mm,
body starts sweating and all. In fact, yeah, and just because of this, another question came to my mind.
mm.
There is a disease nowadays in English speakers in trend. My mind goes blank. That's the name of disease. My mind goes blank. So, being a doctor, what can you suggest? How can one treat this disease? My mind goes blank.
It's all about practice. One word answer to all your English learning problems is practice. Years of practice, years of being consistent and not rushing in or not losing hope that it is not happening. I've been learning from 2 years. I'm not there yet. It is a continuous process of learning, and there is always room for improvement. Okay, you will learn grammar, you will learn proper sentence structure. What about the glossary? What about the vocabulary? There is still so much more, and it is ever evolving. The more you learn, the more you feel that, oh God, I don't know still so much. People are way better. They're doing much better as compared to me, and I have to improve more. So just remember, it is going to be a lifelong journey for you. So, English is a lifelong journey. If you are passionate, you want to keep learning. So, just have that kind of faith that I am going to continue it for the rest of my life. I'm going to practice. I'm going to continue speaking, and just don't treat it like it is a goal and I have to achieve it. Just enjoy the journey as well. It's nowhere that you are going to reach. There's no destination. You just have to keep learning. It's an ongoing journey. Just be consistent, have your focus, keep practicing all the time. Keep speaking to people. The first language that you speak has to be English. So that is the only way you're going to master it. So, and just cultivate that don't care attitude. When a person is talking to you, it is common to make mistakes. Every person has started from somewhere. We are Indians, and English is not our native language. When I was learning English, I made a lot of mistakes. People laughed at me as well. But once they laughed at me, I learned from it. Okay, this was my mistake. And till date, I have not repeated that mistake. So just learn from your mistakes. I just mispronounced a word and I was ridiculed at school. How can you call this word as this? So till date, I remember what she told, how she told it. So I know the right pronunciation of the word, and I'm never going to mispronounce it again. Learn from your mistakes and have a positive attitude. Even though you're going to fail, you're going to learn something from it. Failures are stepping stones to success. Just keep learning from your own mistakes and try not to make the same ones again. Make new mistakes, learn from your new mistakes. So just in that way, if you're having that attitude, your mind will not go blank. Just develop a don't care attitude.
Wow, that's really great. Again, you made me astonished, and the way you speak, it's really captivating. And of course, for today, I'm done with my all bombs. I do have some in my basket, but I know how much time we have, so I'll
Yes.
keep it for some other day.
Mm.
And thanks, ma'am, for giving your precious time and the way you have answered the question I've asked you. It's really miraculous and phenomenal. And by giving your precious time to me and connecting with me, you just made my day.
Thank you so much. It was really lovely talking to you. Wonderful questions. And it's good to know that you are doing so many things simultaneously. And it is a myth what people say that if we don't have time to do English, we don't have time to learn English. But you are proving everyone wrong, right? If you're passionate about something, you will do it no matter what. You will remove time. Nobody has that much time. Everybody has only 24 hours in their life, right? You have to just remove
True.
time. You have to figure out what will work for you. I cannot give you a study plan. This time to this time, you have to do English. You have your own problems in your personal life, and you have to manage time accordingly. So it is your duty to remain consistent in learning English. So that is what you're doing. So really very good. It's worth appreciating. So keep up the good work. So if time permits, we'll talk again.
Sure, man. In fact, the words which you have spoken for me, it means me a lot. Thanks for your gratitude and the honor you have shown towards me. And I'm sure after listening these statements, I'm not going to listen Sandeep Maheshwari. Well, I think you are the biggest motivator for me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good day.
Likewise, man. Bye bye. Take care. Have a nice day ahead.